Pascoe. Davis. St Kilda in attack. Oh, Davis wanted to try it. Then he got out of it well by tapping it across to Trott. Trott gives it to Baldock. A chance for St Kilda goal here. And it's there. The Ducks brought one in. 3 goals.
Peter Hudson of Hawthorn 5 for 77 and Kekovich 2 for 39.
He's backed up well there. 2 bounces. He's got to kick it, knowing that he does so. Gets it out towards the centre wing position. Running in was Hardyman and off his boots across the line. Gee, Tassie, when he gets some steam up, he can really fire and he singes the grass. He's only had 9 kicks and only taken 1 mark, but they've had to move Pays, the full forward, from him. Knocked away by Fowler. Chance for Hardyman. Melbourne get across the centre line. Parks. The runner. Beauty. That's his 5th mark. He's only had 4 kicks, so this is his 4th because his hand passed quite a bit. Chance for Melbourne. Feldman couldn't pick it up. Murray comes out. He's tackled, but still manages to get his boot to it. Burke and Trott do battle now, with Trott showing the greater pace. Gets his kick in. Up towards Baldock. 2 against 1. And Dock to Dock. It's Dock Rowett over Dock Baldock.
Dr. Rowett. He's been a veteran defender in the Melbourne side for years. Defender's kick, a punt kick down towards the centre of the ground. Appealing for the mark was Keneally, but it was play on. He gets it across to Hassaman, who kicked it when it was in the air. Trott comes through. Another long kick by him back towards the half-back position, but it's all Melbourne who's freer than there, and Chris Fowler marked it. He's marked very well, this lad. That's his 6th mark for the match, and they've all been good ones. Left foot kick, but there wasn't a good kick. It was Minot just standing there waiting for it to come there, and that's Minot's 1st mark. Minot's kick elected to the other side of the ground. Ward comes through. He took this mark. He's playing well. He covers plenty of ground on the forward line. He stabs it up towards, shoots it up towards Davis in the forward pocket. Now St Kilda's tactics is to let Davis lead well away from goal. Then he shot that beautiful pass to Neil. Well, Neil hasn't had the best of days in front of goals. He's kicked 1 goal, but he's had about 4 shots. This one's landing well up with distance, but once again it's offline, and it's another point.
20 minutes into the quarter. Melbourne 7-8-50. St Kilda 7-11-53. Oh, looking for Rowett, but the man at the back is Stewart. He had the run in. Johnson took the risk there. Oh, Rowett's getting the mark. Well, I thought Stewart might have, but the umpire certainly didn't agree with me, and fair enough too. Rowett's punt kick gets it up to the wing position. Well, a free kick for Minot for 2-handed shove out there. It was a Melbourne mark too to George Lakes, but there you are, they paid the penalty. This is a Melbourne mark anyway to Brian Keneally. He's played a kick behind the game fairly well. Long kick. There's another bloke. A beautiful mark, a screamer to Barry Pascoe.
Channel 9 instant replay.
He's played a kick behind the game fairly well. Long kick. There's another bloke. A beautiful mark, a screamer to Barry Pascoe. I was about to say here's another bloke who's played kick behind particularly well. This will be Pascoe's 17th kick, and that was his 6th mark. Gee, it was a beauty. He had the ride and came down to earth with a thud, but he sent the crowd up on their feet with it. To Melbourne against each other, which is not good tactics. Lakes gets bundled out of the way by Baldock. Groom suckers it across the line. Thought it may have been a free kick for deliberate. It certainly looked as though it was. Would you agree with that, Jeff Lee?
No more maybe than the one of Lily's earlier, but they've got away with it anyway. Dixon coming through. He called for the ball to get Melbourne forward once again. But St Kilda backing up well. This time it's O'Day that clears him. He sends him forward. A bad kick, though, across to Burke. He gets a long pass across to Stan Owls. Owls a punt pass down towards Park. In front of him coming through was Feldman. He had the better position. He plays on. He's going to hand pass, and he decided he'd kick it. It's not a good kick. It's not for forwards anyway. It's high in the air. Punched away by Ditridge and the attacker players. Breaking away is O'Day once again. He kicks it out to the only man that's on that side of the ground, Darryl Griffiths. He pats it on the ground. St Kilda have opened up their forward line. That's Pays who made position there. He plays on. There's a player back in the goal. Spurt's going to land very high and close, but it went too far, and St Kilda have lost their accuracy in front of goal, and it's another point.
It's good.
Fresh.
natural gas in Victoria.
25 and a bit minutes gone in the third quarter. Less than a goal the difference, and that's been pretty well how it's been from the end of the first quarter. A longer kick this time by Johnson. He doesn't try to pick somebody up. Man in front. The honourable MLA, 250 game, Brian Dixon. The half-back flank. Sticko's turn to see if he can further it much upfield. He does. He tried to find Els with a pass. It just fell short, but Els got it okay, as you saw. And now it's up towards Melbourne centre-half forward line. Hardiman's moved to the centre-half forward. Melbourne come forward again, further forward. Oh! Walker, a beauty! A one-handed mark, 2 bites of the cherry, and then with the one hand again, not the 2. Well, it could restore the lead for Melbourne. He's only 20 yards out directly in front, and he's kicked 1. He's kicked 2. Well, the lead swung around again. Max Walker kicks his second goal. His side's 8, and they lead by a point. And this is a crowd-pleasing match if you've ever seen one. Perhaps not for St Kilda supporters, who need the win desperately for their side, because if anyone loses this, if it's St Kilda, the fight for the 4 is still wide open. St Kilda are only 1 game ahead of Richmond on the same number of games as Geelong.
Melbourne are going to cause a lot of upsets as they play the top sides over the next few weeks, because maybe apart from the ruck, they've got a fairly strong side. They're strong across the centre in their back line, and maybe in the forward pocket a little bit weak, but their half-forward line is not bad either. Ditwich up high. He takes the ball down with him, then he gets a kick to it. He's trying desperately to get his side forward. They're a point behind at the moment. That's Barry Burke desperately getting it away. Baldock comes through, almost a throw, but it was a clever one. The way he got it away, Stewart was pressurised. Got a kick away, then it kicked further along the ground by Trott. Coming through is Anderson. He's a dasher. A long kick by Anderson, typical Melbourne style, down towards the half-forward line. At the back was Lakes. He couldn't take it in. Barry Pascoe, being one of St Kilda's best, he breaks away. Magnificent pass to Baldock. He was too short, it went over his head. Then the bounce to Doc Rowett's arms. Kick further ahead by Jones. A hand pass across here to Lakes. Oh, that was a bad attempt at getting the ball away. Hasselman pounced on it, but doesn't know what to do with it. Gets it back to Lakes, who was running past. A little pass over towards the forward line. And marked on the half-forward line by Hardiman. Grabbed around the neck at the same time, so he gets the mark and the free kick. Not a bad-looking kick. I think it'll fall a little bit short. Walker's coming through. He couldn't mark this one. There's Els. He might kick over his shoulder. He has an attempt. He's just a little bit wide of the sticks, and there'll be a throw-in right alongside the point post.
Anybody's match. And a good one, too, at the MCG. 3 minutes of time on have gone in the third quarter. Melbourne lead by a point. And there's hardly been more than a point or more than a goal between the sides since the start of the second quarter. It was Moran coming out without the ball. It's Ross Smith that gathers it in. And his kick is too wide, and it carries across the line. Stewart and Lakes. I don't think they'd know each other if they passed each other in the street, because they haven't been close enough except at the start of the game to shake hands. 15 kicks to Lake and 3 marks, 19 kicks to Stewart and 7 marks. Knocked out by Ditwich, sharp by Park. He gets grabbed, but then his strength gets him away from Baldock. Tries a hand pass. It was ill-directed. Barry Breen was there. Oh, it's one way of catching up to the opponent, isn't it? By Greg Hardiman. There's Lilly, and a lovely pass to Stewart. Oh, that time Lakes is saying hello, but he's still looking at the number, and there's Paisley's mark. He's at centre-half forward. Goes for the long, direct kick towards goal, and not back tactics either. Man at the back was Neil. He couldn't mark. That was Dyer taking the ball for St Kilda, number 12. Hotly pursued by Davis, and might be the free for in the back. Yes, there is. Terribly hard not to do it, but there again it's an infringement. Dyer used his body well to protect the ball. He's on a very acute angle, about 45 yards out from goal. No accuracy at all. It's out of bounds. Can't be much time left to go. There's 4 minutes of time on gone in this quarter. We've averaged about 5 minutes a quarter up to date. Neil now goes for the throw-in, hooks it over his head, but come back to Jones. Davis picks it up and then loses it. Pretty scrambly at the moment, but they're trying to get the ball out, and it's hard to do it in a pack such as that. Umpire Matheson's not going to help by balling it up.
St Kilda's favour because it's in their forward pocket. Put down by Neil. Picked up by Dyer. It's a high kick. And the goal umpire said it's mine, and it just happened to land over the line. It was a high kick. It dropped into the square behind the point post.
Level pegging again, Jeff. Level pegging. And St Kilda are paying the penalty of inaccuracy now, 7-14 to 8-8.
Desi Johnson lets a short pass this time towards Hassaman. He dropped it too. Coming through his strut. He's showing lots of pace around that wing. A beautiful pass across to an opening here, and it's Davis. Pulled to the ground. 30 yards from goal.
He's giving Tassie Johnson all the trouble in the world now because he's kept moving. He hasn't stayed in the goal square, and he's probably a bit fast. He could restore the lead for St Kilda at three-quarter time.
He has. Three-quarter time. St Kilda, 1 goal in front, 62 to 56.
Now to make the most of clean, fresh, natural gas in Victoria.
Final quarter at the MCG, about to get underway, and there's nothing much in it at all. 6 points in St Kilda's favour, 8-14 to 8-8. Been a thriller all the day. This is number 25, 39 Lakes. That's Dittrich going for the knock over his head. Barry Pascoe is the one who went down. Gee, not given much time to get rid of it, was he? Free kick goes to Burke. Long kick. No one there for Melbourne, or St Kilda, and Bob Murray had no trouble in marking. That was his first mark for the day. It's been a quiet one for Murray. Oh, Stewart almost marked. Lakes is with him. Then Dixon comes in and wins out again. Played quite well as Dakota Day. And there's Murray taking his second mark. Dixon's had 20 kicks, 5 marks. Full-back's kick once more from Bob Murray. Pays sets himself, but the man in front is the one who's got it, as they nearly always do. And it looked as though it could have been on for a moment between Brent Jones and Barry Pascoe. Jones is a good kick. Pity the full forward, though, the big pack of players like that there. Dittrich gets it out towards Moran, and he in turn gets it out towards the line, and in fact goes over for a throw-in.
I feel that the Melbourne Rucks have surprised Dittrich and Co. They've been persistent all day, and they've been trying to get in that front position. Look at Walker go in front of him now. He gets up. It was a dead heat for a knockout there. Barry Pascoe sweating on it as usual. Gets a hand pass to a player running past, which is Green. Coming through was Osborne. He was pushed aside. The ball still in the pack as Dicko, number 9, still there trying to pick it up. Ross Smith comes through. He fumbled it this time. He hasn't fumbled very many. He's dragged to the ground by Owls. The ball's over the boundary line, and the Melbourne player is getting a free kick.
Let's look at the frees. St Kilda have had 25. Melbourne have had 16, or this is the 16th.
Stan Alves' kick's a glorious kick too, covering plenty of distance. The big man fly, the big man marked it, and it was Carl Dittrich, and it's his second mark for the match. He hasn't had the best of days in the aerial duels.
There's umpire Matheson with his favourite toy apart from his whistle, because, gee, he's applied this 15-yard penalty so often, it's, to my way of thinking, it's ridiculous. Umpires in general appear to do this.
Dittrich kicks the familiar punt kick down towards the wing. It's trying to be punched away by Melbourne players. Smith coming through. He's rowed very well. He's been the best rover afield. He tries to get back into the business as Anderson, with a lot more height and strength, past him. It's kicked further along the boundary line. There's a Doc Rout coming through. He gets a left foot down towards the forward line, but it was a little wide, and it's hit the line, and there'll be a throw-in on the centre wing. Players setting themselves. This time it's Jones and Barry Pascoe, the ruck rover, the two big fellows who are kicked behind the game. Little nasty incident could have occurred there. Matheson will ball it up. The small men contesting the ruck. Joe Dixon running through. He's been doing that all day. He gets his left foot kick to the forward pocket. Dittrich marked it on the second time. He played on. Moran kicks it down towards the centre of the ground. There's Lakes. Bustled by Stewart. He gets a hand pass away. Melbourne's tactic seems to be using a lot of hand pass to centre to open the game. Jones gets it down towards the half-forward position. Coming through the mark was Murray. It's Murray's third mark, and he's taken them all in this quarter in the last 3 minutes.
Well, that's what the time is, 3.5 minutes into the last quarter. St Kilda maintain their goal lead, 62 to 56. Murray's kick takes it right up to the centre. St Kilda mark coming up for sure, and it's Stewart. He's taken plenty of them. That's his 9th. It's not a good kick. He tried a drop kick in the mud patch and it didn't come off, but it's come off to the extent that O'Day was able to gather it in for his side. It goes to Davis. He gets it further upfield, knocked away by the Melbourne defences, and Keneally takes it. St Kilda player on the ground taking his time to get up. The St Kilda player's shepherd, that was Lilly shepherding for Trott, and Trott still couldn't get out of trouble, so he finally kicks a ball across the line. It's Barry Pascoe. Collings on the ground for St Kilda. Pascoe was also on the ground for St Kilda, and that's where they don't want him because he appears he might have cramp. Ross Smith sends him forward. Chance here. Neil just couldn't mark, but he's got a chance to steady. He's only 20 yards out from goal. His kick again is a stray. If Neil could get his right boot on, one of these days he'll kick a swag. He did it. He's done it on 2 or 3 occasions. That was out of bounds. The point would have been valuable. It gave them, would have given them the extra point for a 7-point lead. It would have needed 2 kicks from Melbourne. There's a goal off the ground by Neil. 14 takers of that. 2 goals to Kevin Neal, 9 to St Kilda, and they lead by 2 goals. Davis has kicked 3, Smith 2, Baldock and Ward 1 each. Well, for Melbourne, 2 each to Walker and Elves, and 1 apiece to Park, Feldman, Mann and Hardiman.
Ball up, Dittrich hurling himself into it, trying to get St Kilda forward once again. They've been pressurised, but they're coming down the well through the agency of Griffiths. 2 pats on the ground and helped along there by Colling. Then he gets out of trouble, weaving through 2 players. A long kick to the forward pocket. It's Neil in front and he's marked. St Kilda players have lifted themselves in this last quarter. He kicked the last goal. Now he has a chance to kick his 3rd. Oh, it didn't turn around the right way for him, and it's only a point, and that would be Neil's. I think it's his 3rd point for the match. You can see for yourself, St Kilda 13 points in front. It's Brian Muir, Alec Peake, 2 selection committee members of the St Kilda side.
There's Johnson kicking off a lovely kick too. A chance here for Fowler, and Fowler it is that marks from the back. Melbourne have done well, and now they're in trouble. It's the biggest break that there's been since Melbourne established a break in the 1st quarter. 13 points in St Kilda's favour. Ooh, Hardiman went down hard. Colling came through and cleared that out towards, not Colling, cleared it, I'm sorry, it's Colling that's taking it. It was Lilly that cleared it. Davis slides in the mud. He's not the only one either. It's given across quite cleverly to Davis, and he goes for a slide, but in time to hand punch the ball up. He's got time again to steady. Shoots it across the face of goal and out of bounds. Well, Colling is on. Have we picked up who's off yet?
I think it's Dyer, Jim. Yes, Baldock's in the forward pocket and he is now roving. Throw-in coming on. There's the fellow we're speaking about, Baldock. He's lost a little bit of pace. Anderson hurled himself at the ball. Mann come through. Then he gets a kick to it. A nice one up to Dixon. He's going to play on, but he stood his ground. Funny sort of a hand pass. It was a long one to Mann running down the ground. It was good football, though. Down towards the wing position to Walker. Dittrich showing a lot of yardage coming through there. He bundled Walker aside, but he didn't see Osborne there. But relieving the situation is O'Day. He breaks clear, has a bounce. Gets himself out of trouble with a kick back towards St Kilda's forward line. Sitting himself with Ward. He took his eyes off it, though. Fowler coming through now. He has a bounce. He's played well. A left foot pass down towards the forward line, and Osborne swallowed that one up. Well, Osborne, who came on in the 2nd quarter, has taken 3 marks. He's had 5 kicks up towards the half-forward line. Desperation for Melbourne at this stage. There's Lilly backing up very well at the back of the pack. A long kick back towards the wing position. It's all Melbourne. Walker there takes him well judged and a timely mark.
Channel 9 instant replay.
There's Lilly backing up very well at the back of the pack. A long kick back towards the wing position. It's all Melbourne. Walker there takes him well judged and a timely mark. He plays on, stab past towards the centre of the ground. Park making up a lot of ground. He's been pretty quiet after the early start. He plays on, has one of his few kicks for the match over towards Hardiman on the half-forward flank. Melbourne are going the long way around goal, and this is not typical of the Melbourne side.
Well, here's Hardiman from the half-forward line. Long kick. Murray's in the front position and takes a mark. 4 marks to Murray, all coming this quarter. Be Murray's 9th kick. St Kilda starting to exert a bit of pressure. 7.5 minutes into the final quarter. 17 is Breen. That was Hardiman soccering it along there into the open and across for a throw-in.
Well, we'll have a breaking news today in the sports show tomorrow, starting at 12 o'clock. Now, more of this game.
It's into the final quarter. St Kilda 10-16, 76 over 2-goal lead on Melbourne 9-10, 64. St Kilda into attack, but not for long. Johnson gets the ball away. Dixon's there to back him up. Does so. Puts it out onto the half-forward flank where Feldman is now. A chance for Park. He's gathered it in. He's attacked by Lilly, but gets a pass from Mann, who kicked a point from Melbourne about 2 or 3 minutes ago to make the score's 2-goal difference. Now, if Mann can get this to a Melbourne man, they're a chance, because I think he'd be too far out to kick it. It's a long kick. He's making a liar of me. It's a beautiful kick. It's a snow-stop. Oh, what? It was a tremendous kick from Hassaman. Now 2 straight goals will give it to them. St Kilda no doubt won't let them get it if they can possibly avoid it. 11 points of difference, a minute of time on goal.
Well, the crowd has certainly come to life, and St Kilda will need to come to life to stem the flow of Melbourne kicks on the forward line. Murray's kick is a beauty, covering plenty of distance out, almost at the wing position. No one can mark. In fact, it's gone off the hands of the players, and it's over the line. It'll be a Melbourne kick because it's gone out.
It's a free kick.
Well, Osman gets it back into play. It's punched away by Murray. It's Feldman, a hand pass to the player coming through. Happened to be Osman. He's trying to get out of trouble. Bare-fisted job, but there was an unenviable task for him. He was tackled all right, and St Kilda's Barry Pascoe will take the free kick and play it up towards the wing position. There's a lead coming down. Barry Burke couldn't quite get there in time. Now he takes the ball with him, turns, shoots a small pass across to the centre of the ground to where Ray Groom was waiting for it. He's about 45 yards. There's a lead coming upfield for him. He ignores it rather, gets it down towards the forward area. Hassaman couldn't mark it, he's been pressurised. Stan Ellis grabs the ball, he's trying to gather it forward and take it forward towards goal. It's a free kick. It'll go to Ellis. He was in that pack, he was being grabbed from all angles, around the neck. And that's what he's getting the free kick for. It's a goal.
5 points the difference in St Kilda's favour. 2.5 minutes of time on gone. We've averaged about 5 minutes of time on in the match. That was Elves' 3rd goal. Goal kickers are for Melbourne 3 to Elves, 2 to Walker, 1 each to Burke, Park, Feldman, Mann and Hardiman. For St Kilda 3 to Davis, 2 to Neal and Smith, 1 to Baldock, 1 to Pays and 1 to Ward. Fever pitch excitement at the MCG. It could be a boil over if Melbourne can get that extra goal. St Kilda throwing themselves into the fray. Griffiths can't pick it up. Either can Ward. Johnson comes in to help Groom. Oh, straight through the legs of Rowett. He hasn't made many blues today. Now Griffiths can't pick it up. Picked up now by Rowett. Melbourne get away from danger, at least for the moment. There's Baldock acting as a ruck rover. He gets his kick in, sends the ball out towards the centre wing position. Dixon almost marked, couldn't quite pull it in, and it's a throw-in. Well, players are all on this, the inner side of the ground, side of the field. There's not one player on the outer half. A chance for Dixon. It'll bounce for him. He should have gone for the hand pass. Didn't have time, perhaps. Green takes it for St Kilda. Scoops it up, but it's across the line. There's the siren. The thriller-biller finish at the MCG. A 5-point win to St Kilda. 10-16, 76 to 10-11, 71. And don't you believe that Melbourne didn't play well. St Kilda perhaps didn't play as well as one would expect, but they still played pretty well. But I wouldn't say, from their point of view, it was a great match. Some matches against the top brass in the league coming up.